Yo guys, we're back, man. We're back from fucking Hong Kong and Taiwan, man. We took a good trip, man. Excuse the mess in the back, man. I'm doing laundry and I don't have enough hangers. And I just woke up, so yeah, man. It's good to be back in Japan, man. I haven't been here in almost 2 weeks, and this is the first time that I went outside of Japan in maybe almost 4 years, with the exception of going back to see my family back in America. But like going to like a foreign country and stuff, man, bro, it's been a minute. And honestly, it was a great experience. Let me tell you why. I mean, I went because I was lacking a little bit of inspiration. You know, being in the same country for like such a long time, man. I don't know how some people do it. I need to go outside. I need to, breathe a little bit. I gotta breathe in air I'm not familiar with. If that makes any sense. Originally wanted to go to China though. I wanted to go to China, but I realized that there's a lot of preparation that needs to take in place before going. For example, you need to download a whole bunch of apps on your phone because China's like very digitally advanced. And honestly, I was not prepared for that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push that trip for another day, for another time. But right now, I want something easy, and so it was like a last minute, not last minute, but it was like almost a last minute trip. So I decided to go to Hong Kong, the next best thing, and then Taiwan, and just figure some stuff about those countries and stuff, educate myself a little bit. But the main reason was inspiration, right? I wanted to travel a little bit. I wanted to put myself in difficult situations. I went over there and it wasn't as difficult, man. I also wanted to meet a lot of new people, right? So my inspiration comes from meeting people. And so I went out there. I stayed in hostels and stuff where I got the chance to meet, new people from across the world coming into this one space. Recommend going to hostels if you're traveling, solo traveling. It's nice, it's a breath of fresh air because you're surrounded by people, you're in dormitories, you do sacrifice a little bit of your comfort. However, you get the opportunities to talk to like people around you and stuff. So I think it's great for making connections. And so yeah, I stayed at these hostels, and I was in Hong Kong. I was talking to everybody, people in the streets, figuring out if people spoke English, asking locals where to go for like food and stuff, and just like just trying to connect, right? And I realized that Hong Kong, they were pretty warm, surprisingly. I just kind of assumed that Chinese people were a little bit, or Hong Kongese people were a little bit more assertive, a little cold, maybe like New Yorkers are. New Yorkers, we're very warm, but we have this outer shell where it seems like we're cold. But honestly, if somebody's like needs our help, we'll go after them and help them out. We look out for each other in New York, and I kind of thought that Hong Kong people were similar in a sense because they're also in a very progressive city. That's the vibe that I got. People are really very progressive there, because they're not part of China. Rather, they have their own government. They have a complicated government, but they have the opportunity to capitalize on the way the government works. And so there's a lot of money flowing, I think, and people from across the world are coming to this Hong Kong area and just like building businesses. I talked to this one business owner. It was like very brief. He told me, yo, there's like the rules, and like it's very easy to set up in Hong Kong. Is what he told me. And, I met other people, and I met this guy that's like doing his own travel business, and that inspired me so much. Around my age, he was 30, and he was like telling me about his business, his travel business. He was in the middle of work when I approached him, and he was catering to Italian clients, and he was just telling me, hey, I'm doing my own business here, having private tours and stuff like that. And I don't do private tours. I do tours within a company. But that inspired me, and I was like, damn, man, I could do that shit too, man. And just meeting this person that was actually doing it kind of clicked in my head. I was like, yo, I know it's possible, but just meeting a person that's actually doing it kind of like it's the cherry on top. It's like, hey, people are doing this for real. This is right. It's right in my face. And he was in the middle of work, so I actually met his clients too. And it just got me thinking and stuff. And that's just one experience. I walked into this random shop, and it was a tea shop. It wasn't a tea shop. It was like a exporter shop, or like, I don't know what it was exactly. It was a spice and tea shop with like very interesting things going on in there. And I just kind of went inside. I started asking questions, and then I realized that they export. The main source of income or money flowing in is based on exportation, so like exports. And I was like, damn, wouldn't it be cool if I could just like make connections and just like have export, like be a exporter, or what is it called, a business, international business person, just exporting teas across the world from this place. So I got to talk to the owner, and we were talking. I was asking questions and stuff, and that also planted another seed in my head. I was like, damn, man, the possibilities. And that was my trip in Hong Kong, right? Of course, I went outside, and I saw very beautiful things. I saw the Hong Kong skyline and stuff. It was awesome, bro. It was awesome. So many people, and I got to know a little bit more about this part of the region of Hong Kong. People coming from mainland China to Hong Kong to make money, bring it back to China, spend it. People from Hong Kong going to China to like shop and eat and do leisure activity. And I realized, oh, Hong Kong is a place to like do business. All right, okay, I see you, Hong Kong. And then I went to Taiwan, and I went to this hot spring area. I just like kind of relaxed and stuff. Climb a little bit of I climbed a mountain a little bit, and it was just chill. That was my little vacation. And then I went to Taipei to experience the people, and I realized that Taiwanese people are similar to like Japanese people in a sense, like their vibe. They're a little bit more reserved too. They're islanders. I got to experience the cuisine there, and I was like, I ate the weirdest thing in my life there. I've eaten like cricket tacos, which was, at that time it was weird, but shit. Somebody told me about this blood cuisine, and like people eat like duck blood, pork blood in Taiwan. And I was like, what? That's crazy. I'm not gonna eat that. And I told myself I wasn't gonna eat it. And then I met this one person, and we were just hanging out and stuff. And this person was like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get a snack. Lord and behold, this person comes in with the pork blood with meshed with rice and like peanuts on a stick. And I was like, oh God, man, the time has come. Destiny has come. I have to eat that. And I was offered a bite. And I was like, I took a bite, and it took a full minute for me to get that food down my throat, man. The taste was interesting. Would I eat it again? No. But I tried it, and it's all thanks to this person. Otherwise, I would have never tried it. But I'm thankful that I met this person, and I got to try the local cuisine. And then I got asked, hey, so do you guys have like blood cuisine back in America or something like that? I was like, no, we don't have that. That's crazy, man. But yeah, I ate pork blood on a stick. So it's like hardened pork blood that's hardened, mixed in with rice. It has cilantro, and it has like it's like topped with peanuts, right? But I don't know, the taste is like kind of out there. Yeah, but I got to taste a lot of different types of food. Not just that, I had a really good food over there in Taiwan. It was interesting. And yeah, the travel experience was great. I got to meet people. I got inspired. I feel energized, man. I feel energized being back, and I highly recommend people to go outside, experience the world, get a breath of fresh air, be put in situations that are kind of uncomfortable, and just experience the world, right? Meet people, man. Meet people, and just like have stories, get stories. Go outside and get some stories, and it's a beautiful thing traveling out there. You get inspired, you meet new people, new friends, and then you learn more about yourself, man. You tend to like kind of like character develop along the way, because you're exposed to many different things, your stories, the people that you meet. You latch on to little things that you like about different people around you, and you realize that maybe you're not a nice person, or maybe you need to work on yourself a little bit more, being around people, being around situations. And it's just a very experimental experience, I think, right? You get to experiment with yourself. We're like, hey, maybe I don't like this about myself, maybe I should change that. And because you're surrounded by new people, the time you get the opportunity to change that in a safe place, because they don't know you, they don't know what you're about. You could, put on a different mask and see what you like about yourself, what you don't like about yourself, and grow through that. But yeah, I would honestly, trip was awesome. Good to be back though. I did miss Japan. I was like, yo, I can't wait to see my friends again. Uh, just be back here. I love Japan so much. It's a great country. It's so cool. The food is amazing. I'm excited to see my friends this weekend. We're gonna go to like this fireworks festival, and yeah, we're gonna have a few parties, and man, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about going back to work. I'm excited about this. Look, I got inspired to put more YouTube videos. Maybe I'll, I don't know what challenges I'm gonna have for YouTube, but I hope that I can share more ideas out in the internet, and just like just that. Anyways, I'm gonna close off with that because it is still morning. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm gonna go work out a little bit. Thank you guys. Peace.